Okay. So if that goes off, I'll know to reset the camera. So Alex Jones has had probably the worst month of his life in here in April. So first, at the beginning of the month, on the 9th, Donald Trump, like for the first time in years, like since like 2015, I don't know the exact date, I didn't look it up. But for the first time in years, Trump acknowledged Alex Jones's existence. And it's only because the war in Iran and the Jesus photo made a whole bunch of right-wing extremists sort of take the out to stop like supporting him. Funny enough, though, Alex Jones was still kind of on the fence, and he's been compromising what he claimed were his ethics for like the last 30 years over the past 5 years just for Trump. He's been excusing ICE breaking into people's houses and deporting people. He supported mass deportations beforehand. Just keep that in mind. Alex Jones has always been a far right operative. Far right. When he was a commentator in 2005, his angle was that George Bush was a liberal, that George Bush was a neocon, and that he worked with the Democrats and all this kind of bullshit. He wasn't right enough. And Alex said that multiple times. So Alex Jones never made a turn to the far right. He's always been far right. He's always been American militia coded. That is where he came out of. There's a John Birch Society. His dad was part of the John Birch Society and had a whole bunch of literature, and Alex would read that stuff when he was too young. Or at least he claims, he believes all the kind of shit and talks about it, so I assume he read some of it. But yeah, Alex Jones, always been a far right operative, but he's been excusing authoritarianism lately on behalf of Trump, making the wildest excuses. He justified Trump concealing the Epstein stuff because he said that Trump had made a deal with the deep state, that the deep state would work with him as long as he concealed the Epstein stuff, and was justifying it. So completely fucking ridiculously out of pocket, evil, whatever you want to call it. But let's read a little bit of that Trump tweet, and then we'll move on to the next thing about Alex. So here we go. I'm only going to read some of this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon, because they have one thing in common: low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it, their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. And down here, he specifically is calling out each of them individually, and he says, bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. So he's saying that Alex Jones rightfully lost all of his money for calling Sandy Hook fake. What's hilarious about this is that Alex, on his show, he claims that they came at him for Sandy Hook because he got Trump elected, and that it was revenge by the deep state, and that this is Trump turning on him and like deciding that he's going to work with Trump's going to work with the Democrats to take down Alex Jones. It doesn't make any fucking sense. The narrative is completely falling apart. But Alex Jones' response to this, instead of being like screaming and saying, "Hey, I'm the one fighting evil. I'm I'll destroy you." Some shit like that. He doesn't say anything like that. Instead, he does this. Look at this. Look at this shit right here. Look what he did. He decided to sell a product on his store that is trying to reappropriate the low IQ accusation as an ironic, like, political statement. So here we have the low IQ shirt and the low IQ hat, and the low IQ hat comes in both black or red. So you have the dark MAGA variant, and I can only imagine the joy I will feel when I see an InfoWarrior wearing a shirt that says low IQ on it. I'm not sure many of them are going to buy these because I know they're insecure about their intelligence. And Alex is so fucking desperate that he will take his lowest moment and try to commodify it. So this is brilliantly stupid and exactly what someone who is low IQ would do in response to this. I don't even believe in IQ, but it's viscerally fucking stupid. It's such a stupid response. So this happened, and he wasn't doing good about it, you know, a bad week, you might call it. Well, almost right after that kind of stuff died down, Alex learned during the 420 episode of InfoWars that the purchase by the Onion is finally going through. Like it's in active acquisition of his properties, and he's getting kicked out of the studio. He's been milking it for months now, saying, "Oh, today's the last day we're in the studio, so they're gonna have to pull us out themselves or whatever." And then eventually, when it came to the time, he's like, "We're just gonna go set up in our new studio and keep the exact same show going." But what's funny about that is Alex Jones used to own InfoWars, and now he works for a company called Bigley, which owns the Alex Jones show. And that means that Alex Jones went from owning his own company as a millionaire to being employed by a independent media company. And that is a major step down. He tries to make it sound like it's like a lateral move, and it isn't. It is definitely a demotion, and honestly probably one of the last attempts for him to keep relevance of his company in the zeitgeist. So here's a little clip. Tim Heidecker is the one who is going to be hosting the new InfoWars, and Ben Collins is the one who bought InfoWars. He's the CEO of The Onion, and there's this bit where they pretend like it's owned by another company called Global Tetrahedron, which is like a capitalist, cannibalistic, takes over companies type of thing. It's like a whole joke that they're doing. And there are actual articles who are citing it as oh, InfoWars has been taken over by The Onion's parent company, and there's no parent company. It's just it's a media organization owned by Ben Collins. So here's the video.
Can you give the 2-minute spiel real quick?
Here, I gotta turn off my mic while I'm doing this.
Quick, where we're at, where we've been, where we're going.
The Onion's about to take over InfoWars, and Tim's about to be in charge of that thing. Right now, Alex still has control of it for a couple days. Alex Jones. Oh, by the way, Tim, I don't know, does your throat hurt from doing that voice? Because mine does. Mine really. It's real hard to get down here for
No, I don't. It actually is quite soothing. Feels good.
I want to get to all of Alex's reactions to this because they're unbelievably. They're funnier than I thought they were going to be. I think. I really am surprised where he went with it, and we don't really talk about it maybe enough, but how does this relate to the families of the Sandy Hook victims?
The families of the kids of Sandy Hook who lost their lives in literally the worst conceivable way you can lose your life. They were killed in school. Alex Jones immediately and for years said that this did not happen and that everyone was faking it and all this stuff. The families weren't real. It's all a government psyop and the kids didn't really exist. And, people had, were defacing the kids' graves, things like that. The families had to move and all this stuff. Anyways, because of that, he owes the families $1.4 billion in defamation claims.
Yeah.
Which is the largest of all time. It has been 8 years and 6 days since they originally filed suit, and these families have not received a single penny yet. And he has moved his assets around. He's done all this like horrible stuff. 17 months ago, we bid on his assets and we won. A lot of stuff happened. It was 9 days after the election, so judge got a little spooked, moved it out of his court, went to state court, and a couple days ago, it was announced that we've come to an agreement with the families and the receiver to take over InfoWars and install Tim as the new head of InfoWars. And the most important part of this whole thing is the families will get paid. They're going to get a cut of merch for a very long time until we can actually fully pay them for the whole thing. But once we buy the thing, all of the $1 million+ or something that we put into this thing will go directly to the families. For the first time, they'll receive some money. And in the meantime, we will be receiving some really, truly insane panic because Alex had no idea this was happening.
Exactly. He had no idea it was happening. It sort of came out from under him. And one of his responses is that, it's all fabricated. It's made up. The whole thing is just made up and they're not actually getting it. But he's also leaving InfoWars. He's just such a liar that there's no way for him to even keep his lies together anymore. But yeah, Waldo, you have a good point. He also came at Kat Abu and claimed that somehow him being married to Kat means that they're operatives for the Democrat Party. I think Harrison might have made that accusations. Harrison Smith, who's Alex's little boy servant, and we're actually going to get to some of him next. So there was that. Alex responded to it on his show, but it was very lackluster. It wasn't any good to watch. So I'm going to show his comeback from 2 days after. But first, we're going to look at Harrison on The War Room. The War Room is Alex Jones's after show where he has like a employee host it, and it's a very sub-quality version of InfoWars. And he's all the way down to his worst employee at this point. And yeah, Alex's voice is very hard to do. I wouldn't doubt if he dies of throat cancer. I thought he had it a couple months ago because he was on Bet David and like 2 other podcasts, and his voice was terrible. And he kept making different excuses for it. So I don't know what's going on with his voice. But yeah, the first thing Harrison Smith did was basically not basically, he outright called Ben Collins the F slur. I'm not going to play that part. It's kind of unnecessary. The whining is more important to me. He whines for the entire show, but an interesting thing happens. Alex shows backup for the guest stream.
We stay on air. Unlike The Onion, who's got all this backing and all this crap. Uh-oh. Folks, The Onion has stolen the shirt off of Alex Jones's back at this point, and it's a sad thing to see. Are you an employee of The Onion now, Alex?
No, we laugh about this, but a year and a half ago, they announced that they now owned us.
Yep.
And it was all a fraud. This time, they've had a court hearing, and they're announcing they own us. Which shows with this judge that's been super corrupt, the state judge, it's already a done deal. But don't worry, we got a bunch of legal avenues. It'd be one thing if they just shut us down, but they are telling the New York Times, and I've seen more videos, that they're going to misrepresent, if you played the trailer,
yeah,
they're going to misrepresent that they're us to confuse people and, quote, rip people off like Alex Jones did. They're going to make money. So the whole thing's about defaming me. You can't take some of the...
Alex is basically claiming, like, he must think his audience are like the biggest fucking dumbasses in the world, because he's claiming that they're trying to pose as Alex Jones and take his identity and confuse people into thinking that Tim is the real Alex Jones. Just such a completely insane accusation. I don't even know what to say about it. And then there's this. So Alex comes back with his shirt. We're going to watch that real quick. Okay.
Oh, you got it right. If you go to X, it was like trending one of the top topics. It's worse. They haven't even had a court hearing. He's on podcasts announcing he is now the owner and they're now in control of the studios. So he went further. There's not even been a fraudulent auction. He's just declaring before the judge, who's a Democrat Party operative, because obviously they know, is going to give it to him on the 30th at the hearing next week. So he says, we're in control of the studios. It's now our office. We're hiring people. We're there.
See, it doesn't make any sense. He's saying that Ben is lying about buying it because it hasn't been approved by the Democrat judge that's going to approve it. So he's not lying then. It's just he's trying to weave a web of confusion and like basically probably do what he did last time and create so much speculation on it that it gets stopped in court again, which is what happened last year when it went through. So I have one last statement from Harrison and then we'll get to Alex's response. This statement, I find it's so funny. It's so funny. Watch this.
And it's like, how pathetic would it be to be one of these leftist liberal people to like really think that you're like on the side of the rebels and you're just idiots. Like you're just useful idiots for the most evil people in the entire world. Just taking advantage of your gullibility endlessly to convince you to fight the very people that actually represent the thing you profess to believe.
So funny. He's sitting there saying everybody else is stupid while he's sitting next to a hat that his company is selling that says low IQ and is saying they think that their people are stupid and gullible and easy to manipulate while like creating the dumbest lies in the world for their audience. And then saying every accusation from them is a confession. There is just no amount of mental gymnastics I'm willing to do in any circumstance that would be similar to that. Like, you're trying to put me in prison and fucking execute me if I'm lying to that degree. Wild. Well, hopefully I'm innocent in that context. But next, we're going to look at Alex Jones' response. It took him 2 days to develop this response, and let me know how you guys feel about it. Does he burn them?
Clowns. Hit pause. Back up 20 seconds. Shows a mother with a child. He sticks his tongue out. I mean, this is all pedophilic. This is, who do you think comes against us?
When your child clowns arrive, they may not want to come out of their carrier. If shyness occurs, gently tap on the clown.
Kidnap kids in cages. For radio listeners.
The child clown should learn quickly.
These child clowns come hungry as a horse!
The first thing a child clown will look for is food. Child clowns are not fed in their clown boxes, so expect them to arrive very hungry.
That's how it works.
My child clowns are blind, they'll eat anything!
Jeffrey Epstein, how to get a baby to nurse on their penis.
You know you're gonna love my clowns. Come on! I breed them myself! These clowns come from Donnie's seed! Why try some other man's seed? My seed's fresh. I keep my seed in tubes and plastic bags. Put it in your
semen, hit pause. Phallic symbol. Again, they're all about fresh kids to rape. That's a big thing with them. Let's continue.
The women I breed with are clean and have real clown traits. Look, I'm a clown breeder. It's in my blood, it's in my balls.
Hit pause. They say clowns are children. He's a child breeder.
Not a good time right now. I'm gonna have to bury him in the back if he keeps acting like
Hit
this.
pause. Real baby, a year and a half old. I'm gonna have to kill this baby because it's crying.
That's so insane. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God, it's so good. It's so funny. I don't even know what to say about it. I'll just leave the video on that note, honestly. Alex Jones. Worst month of his life.